right, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, citizens of YouTube. This is Pastor Dowell. Getting a lot of comments, hoping to stimulate thought. Now, I'm going to go ahead and tell you flat out what my intentions is for making these videos. You know, I made a video yesterday responding to a question why men are not marrying today. All right, and I can only hope that you're listening to me. I can only hope that you're hearing me. But the sole purpose and reason for these videos is for the reason I would love to see the structure of an honorable man first, and then an honorable woman to be able to join together and create a nice, strong family unit. One that's built on trust, loyalty, integrity, and truth. Is that too much to ask? Because when we look at our society right here, it's obvious that we don't have any of that whatsoever at all in any relationship. The judicial process in America with this generation is a whole lot smarter than my generation. But I just spoke to a man yesterday. He's a store owner up here at the convenience market. He says, you know, I raised my children, sent them through college. I've always worked hard all my life. I was married 26 years. My wife all of a sudden decided one day, I'm finished, divorced. Now, that is after the fact that everything that, he has worked for has all been literally, well over half of it has just been totally taken away from him. He said to me after his wife had kicked the traces on him, no remorse, no nothing, just glad that she made out like a fat cat. Now, that's pretty much the norm. You see, if you go out here and you fool around with this judicial process and you go and get their license, you're giving them jurisdiction. And I'm going to say it again. If you get married in this day and hour, the rich people prepare a prenuptial agreement. You need that. You need that because today, nobody's word is worth toilet paper after you get finished using it. It's just a fact. Very few honorable people. There will be men and women of their word. Very few people of integrity. And so, marrying today in this society, where I believe is morally decayed and spiritually bankrupt, is literally lost all respect. When you look at the shows like the Cosbys, and especially them stupid cops, I hated the Cosby Show. I wouldn't even watch the thing. I watched maybe 2 or 3 episodes and I said, that's enough. Forget this crap. That is enough. I said, man, look what they're doing. Y'all don't see what's going on? And I was a young man, a very young man at that time. I was like, y'all don't see what they're doing? The man is an idiot, a baffling buffoon. And the woman is supposed to be all, end all intelligent and stuff. And look at the castration of this ignorant guy. Just as stupid. And what pissed me off more than anything is that Bill went ahead and played along with this mess, thereby creating a generation of effeminate women, feminist women, giving them a shot in the arm of steroids and stuff, and that's the reason why we're at the point where we are today. That's the reason why. Now, don't get me wrong. I know that men would rather, let's look at it. Let's deal with some facts. Are there more women that graduate college than men, yes or no? Who has the advantages in the workplace today? Men or women? You see, there's literally no value to forming any of these government-controlled, sanctioned relationships. And the reason why I say that, because you have to opt into a system. All right? I was looking at a little video, and they did a real good job. It was made a few years ago. But men, first of all, they're not getting married because women today have just objectified themselves. They have put themselves and sold themselves cheap. What happened to the honor of a woman being a virgin today, waiting until she gets married, finding an honorable man? A man finds a woman, an honorable woman, and then they stay together all the rest of their days. What's wrong with that? And so today, men, they're not about to get into marriage. They're not about to go to school and get into extraordinary amount of debt, which they cannot pay. because when they get out, there will be no jobs for them. And why work? Why work when, I mean, you ought to see the statistics and the numbers about how many men are working today. It's just a literal sad thing that's going on. And all this comes because of the laws that are on these monogamous books here in this society right here. So what has this society done? Check this out. The American society. Men lose respect in getting married, so they don't get married. They have more joy with cohabitating with someone because there's nothing legally binding. There is, check this out now. Look at this. They can actually leave the relationship anytime they want, and nothing's lost. Nothing's lost. All right. If it doesn't work out, kick the traces. Now, don't get me wrong. Do I agree with all this? No, I don't. But anyway, I'm just stating facts. All right. If they get married, there is a, watch this, 75% chance that they lose their children. And so younger men today are watching this and looking at this and going, I'm not fooling with this. I'm not going to fool with this, because if I go before those court systems, I'm getting raked over the coals. Half the income that I make now goes towards this woman, period. And you know what she's going to do? She's going to go find another man. And I'm saddled and stuck with child support payments. And so they're just looking at this thing and going, this is just not, Because the truth is, in this country, only 10% of the men actually get and obtain control of their children after a divorce. So next, they lose their freedom. The court system is totally against them, and they see this. And they're seeing that their life is totally better off without someone in the house hollering and screaming at them. If a man would even let a woman do that, hollering and screaming at them, or carrying on and stuff, making all these demands and stuff. It's a sad, sad thing. Women, you got a hard-working man. He works hard, and you sit at home all day long. The majority of you send your children to public school. You have nothing to do with their education whatsoever at all. You watch soap operas. The house is nasty and stinky. And then this man comes home, he's offended. He's literally offended because he's been working hard all day long. And then when he walks in that house, he sees the spider webs in the corner. He sees the dirt under the couch. He sees the dishes over in the sink. And he can tell you ain't been doing nothing. And you sit around like some queen and expect for this man to take care of you. So we live in a time in the world today that premarital sex is no longer taboo. It's just the facts. It's just the facts. So if we want this whole society to change, then we're going to have to add incentives to the lifestyle that we're living. Because for a man who's been castrated, demoralized, there's nothing for him. That really truly is. And I know that women would actually say, well, what about us? What about it? See, again, I'm making this video and telling you the reason, what the problem really truly is. And as long as we continue to keep having that attitude, there's never going to be any closure. I'm not out here blaming women for everything, but there's a movement. Just like there's deception in the voices that speak to your mind, there's a movement that is after your mind. And you're going to have to be the ones to determine what that movement is. And you're going to have to be the ones to also not only determine what that movement is, you're going to have to make the necessary changes. Because the one thing about insanity is if you continue to keep doing the same things you've always done and expect change, you are literally insane. We can talk about what about me, what about this all day long. I'll tell you what the what about me concerning male and female, men and women. The what about me is that everybody takes a good long look in the mirror and start making the proper adjustments. That's why I made a video the other day. Who defines morality? I'm getting to a point. Who literally defines morality? It's just a sad situation. But anyway, I'm going to see if I can find this one skit right here I found. It's called Red Pill Dating. You tell me if there's any truth to it at all. Because I think that what's going on in our worlds today, that we have been literally toyed with and jacked with by a system of corruption that is meant to castrate the man and remove all authority from him. And as a result, we have a perverse world. What do you say?
The red pill is a matrix reference, a metaphor for seeing the truth of how gender dynamics really work. MGTOW is the lifestyle and state of mind that occurs after you've taken the red pill. Steve, a mild-mannered gentleman from Wisconsin, has gotten a date with a fabulous woman named Christy. He was enjoying his date, and really thought well of Christy. She might even be the one.
Oh Steve, what a lovely place. The food is just wonderful. You really picked the best spots.
I'm glad you think so. I was worried. You hardly ate anything.
Oh, that's because I am a light eater. I don't eat very much.
What do you think about children?
I like children, I just don't think I am ready for them.
What do you think about feminism?
I'm all in favor of women's right to vote and everything like that, but I think far too many feminists are just crazy.
Here you go, sir, the red pill special.
Steve then ate his dinner, and took the red pill special. Just moments after taking the red pill, everything changed. He began to read more into what his date was actually saying. The truth of what this date was, and what she really meant with her words, became clear, and it went as such.
I like to wear slutty clothes for male attention, but act offended when I get that attention if it is from a guy I am not interested in. I enjoy the privileges my beauty buys me. Men take me out to dinner, fight over me, give me a place to stay, and buy me drinks. I like knowing that if I start making YouTube videos, my beauty will earn me 100 times the subscribers as a man would have doing what I do. If I live cast, or stream video games, pathetic men will donate thousands of dollars to me. I can earn more money playing video games on Twitch and doing my makeup on camera on YouTube than your average man will make until the age of 35. But rather than acknowledging this privilege, I'd rather bitch about it and claim men are objectifying me. Being born female gives me the power of beauty, and that power buys me everything. It's like being born a millionaire. It will buy clothes for me, jewelry, dinners, movie and theater tickets, and as I get older it will buy me a roof over my head. But rather than acknowledging the fact I was born privileged, I will call myself and my fellow sisters marginalized. I think we should ban guns because guns kill people. If guns are legal, I'd be expected to protect myself. I think it is a man's job to protect me instead, and it is the job of police and government to protect me. I totally believe in astrology and believe that my horoscope accurately assesses my personality. I claim to like men that are smart, funny, and nice, all the while dating men who are bullies, jealous, controlling, and self-centered jerks. And then I cry about never being able to find a nice guy. I claim to want a man who is sensitive and can talk about his feelings and isn't afraid to cry. Yet any man that does anything like that would chase me off instantly. I am seeking out a white heterosexual cisgendered male, all the while blaming all of humanity's problems on the heterosexual cisgendered white male. I believe women are every bit as tough and capable as men. The fact we have babies makes us a million times tougher than men. Yet I support the Violence Against Women Act because women are fragile creatures that must be protected. I support women's right to join any branch of military, have lower standards, but equal pay, and I am against women being drafted because women are far too fragile to fight in war. I enjoy going to college since my parents paid, and I've been irresponsibly partying the whole time. They didn't pay for me to go to college to be a strong independent woman. They paid for me to go to college to find a wealthy successful man to marry me and give them grandkids. Of course in this day and age no man is stupid enough to propose marriage fresh out of college, so I will have to poke holes in his condoms, lie about being on the pill, or just get him really drunk. That's another thing I enjoy. You're too drunk to give consent, but only if you're a woman. I call myself a feminist, push to demonize male sexuality, push for women-only programs, and push for double standards that favor women, all the while hiding behind the dictionary definition that feminism is a fight for equality. I like being able to play the role of strong independent career woman. I don't need no man, and yet if my career fails, I like knowing I can find a good old-fashioned traditionalist man, and will happily renounce my title of feminist. I enjoy stupid booty-shaking club music and reality TV and drama shows, talking on the phone, texting on the phone, and buying lots of clothes, and lots of makeup. I consider shopping to be a type of hobby. Sure, having those interests and hobbies would make anyone boring, but I have big breasts, so men will still want me, and pretend to care about every boring thing I say. I am overly emotional and unstable. I am a major crybaby. All of which makes me a drama-filled wreck of a human being who you can never count on, but that just makes me like a daughter, and it's your job to take care of me like a father, and that helps you to feel manly, so I know you won't object or aim higher. I'm a vegetarian. I think animals are people, except for men, they're just animals. Except for the brown ones who are marginalized. Yeah, I'm also full of white guilt. Even though I refuse to recognize my own white privilege, and will never hold my head in shame, because my vagina trumps all that shit and makes me an eternal victim. So other white people should feel guilt and check their privilege, but I won't. I am taking liberal arts, because I'm a social justice warrior. Though I want to be a psychologist because psychology is about talking about feelings, and I really enjoy feelings, and talking, and the best thing to talk about is feelings. However, I'm sure to settle for a lame-ass degree in women's studies, and then bitch about there being very few female engineers. Sure, I could actually get a career in engineering, but that shit's tough. There's math and logic. I'd much rather go for a soft science about feelings and communication and communicating feelings. I'll just continue to blame lack of female engineers on patriarchy, and anyone that disagrees is a misogynist, and I don't let misogynists fuck me. So men will be sure to bob their head up and down, and agree that it's patriarchy. I support socialism because as a woman, I will probably be on welfare, and never defend myself, so I want a government that takes money from working people, like men for example, and gives to non-working people, women for example. I'm afraid of failure and demand a society with safety nets. Besides, someone has to take care of homeless men. Anyone who doesn't care about homeless people are greedy, selfish, and heartless. Of course, myself would never take a homeless man home, bathe him, and give him sex, thereby making him feel like a real human being. Fuck no. They're nasty, but hardworking men should totally give their money to hobos. And it shouldn't even be a choice, it should be government mandatory. After all, it's government's role to make sure that people act and behave the way I want them to. I like to blog about things. For example, I blog about how in every facet of life, there should be a women's only space, but women should be allowed to enter into male spaces, and there should be no men only space because like every space is a men's space. Except that contradicts the first half of my statement, but I totally won't sleep with a guy who calls me out on my hypocrisy. I love how I can state my absurd, sexist offensive opinions in public, and girls agree with me, because we're girls, and we all think alike, in spite of the fact we claim all women are different, and men will never call us out on our bullshit, because they want to get laid, and even though none of them are getting lucky with me, they think they have a shot if they just agree with me enough. I support feminism because women are underprivileged. And you know, if you disagree with me, you won't get laid. So just continue sitting there nodding your head in agreement. I think if a woman sleeps with a guy and he doesn't call her the next day, she has been used for sex. But if a guy spends all of his money taking a woman out on a fancy date and she doesn't put out, in no way has the man been used. I have trust issues. If you don't know what that means, it means I am going to act like a spoiled brat, treat you like shit. I'm going to be jealous and controlling, and you probably won't get laid. But nonetheless you will jump through every hoop, put up with my shit, and do whatever I tell you, in an effort to gain my trust, which is really just an effort to get down my pants. You're using me for sex and I'm using you for everything but sex. The difference here is, I'll get everything I use you for, you'll never get laid, and you'll still end up looking like the bad guy because all you were thinking about was sex, you pig.
After that dinner, after his new red pill perspective, Steve decided that he would end pursuing relationships with women, or at least date them with the understanding that it is not him who is being loved, it is his utility and function which is being admired. The women he dates will want what he has, and what he can do for her. He will always be the means to the end, and not the end unto itself. Born into a world that told him men are made of snips and snails and puppy dog tails, he has come to realize that women are not made from sugar and spice, or anything nice. Steve went on to be MGTOW,